That was. It is. It's like the later it gets, these guys just seem to get better. You think, man, it's kind of, start getting the evening, whatever, maybe have a little bit of fall off. None. Absolutely not. They just ratchet it up that much more.
Yeah. Instead of seeing things slide off a little bit, it just, as you said, it just gets tighter.
Yep.
It just gets tighter.
And just when you think it can't get any tighter, it does. It's like, man, it's like I'll see your 12 total, and here's 6.
Right.
It's like, man, just absolutely crazy. All right. So we're still hanging out in 1900 like land. I'm running out of time, Nate.
We got to be getting closer.
We got to be.
I mean, that's got to be inching its way towards that 2K.
I hope so, because I'm inching closer to leaving.
And that's part of the reason why I'm kind of staying out of the way. I'm letting everybody kind of enjoy the Riggins call, and I'm enjoying the Riggins call. And I know that kind of here in a little bit, we're not going to have that anymore.
I know, man. Kind of sad. It's been a fun week, but man, as it winds down, I find myself kind of bummed. Don't want to. All right, Super Pro Door Cars, round number 6. And Larice Pro final. We'll take you to the lanes. So Larice Pro final. And
there it is.
Super Pro Door Car number 6. We'll take you.
It's a 2K.
All right. My screen hasn't updated, but I'm being told we are there. So thank you so much. There it is. There it updated.
You guys are the best.
Awesome. Thank you all so much.
You're the bestest.
They are the bestest. We're the best chat bleachers out there.
We're at 3,100 watching, 2,000 likes. We're at now, where are we at on the subscriptions? I got to find it on this screen. Just pull it down.
Oh, and I did what you did a minute ago. Let's see. Let's go back.
That's okay.
Hey, Chip Heinel, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
4.2 on the subscriptions.
I show 4.3 on my side. So we're somewhere in the neighborhood. But, yeah, this screen shows 40. Yeah, 43. 43.40. So we appreciate you all very much. Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah.
Jeremy will be going into round number 6. Y'all really are the best. You have no idea what it means to us. And like I said, we get excited about stuff like that. Like I said, let's be real. They're just numbers and that stuff. But there's people behind those numbers, Jags and Hoosier and these sponsors who help bring this stuff. Peter, who said, hey, let's jump out here. Let's have our own platform. Let's do our own streaming. Let's bring Warren Evans in. Let's bring this team in and do something just a little bit different. Not that there's anything wrong, because it wasn't. But just sometimes you can do things just a little bit different and have a little more control over what goes out to the customer. And because we see it that way. Just because you're in the chat bleachers today and you're on the live feed today, you could be a customer at the next race. We just don't know, what that holds, and so we want to do the best we can do for you guys. It's race it, experience, but also watch it, experience it, and you've got to be able to do that this week here at the Strip at Las Vegas Motorplex during the Moser Engineering Spring Fling Million presented by Optima Batteries. You guys got to be up close and personal with the drivers as we get into these late rounds and you start to see the conversations happen. You didn't get to hear it. That's okay. We didn't get to hear it either. But you got to see it. You got to kind of see the people strapping themselves in their car, getting ready to go, potentially let go in the biggest race of their lives. There's plenty of people here that haven't stayed. They've not staged up in a Fling final. They've not done some of this stuff, and you get that up close and personal look. And we couldn't do that without this platform, and we couldn't do it without you guys. If nobody was going to sit here, and if we didn't have 3,000 people watching at 8:14 on the West Coast and 11 o'clock over on the East Coast that are sitting here watching this, there'd be no reason to do it if nobody wanted to watch. And we know that the demand is out there, and so we appreciate you guys for always being there and always showing up and chatting with us. And even if you bust our chops a little bit, even if I can't pronounce some cities in Montana, that's okay. That's okay. I trust me. I can't pronounce cities in a lot of places. It's not just Montana. I've learned a whole new vocabulary this week, and and not just thanks to Emmanuel. I've learned some new Spanish words too, but it's crazy. You're right, Troy Abercrombie. That last round was flat nasty. Phil, I would say I'm sorry, but if that's the case, that means we did our job. It means you guys actually wanted to watch. So
no, from the very beginning when I started doing this and Jed started teaching me about all this stuff and showing me what it's like, because I came from a very different world, right? Been an announcer for a long time, came from a very different world. Had to kind of relearn the whole thing. And to see a comment like that of making the productivity fall off in the shop this week, basically the response to that is, you're welcome.
Yes, exactly.
You're welcome, because that means that, something happened on this end that kept your attention, that kept you entertained, that kept you involved. And that really, as you were saying, the whole idea is experience it,
yes.
Right? I mean, as they're back there in the lanes, I was going to maybe say this a little bit later, but, something's crossed my mind for the past few hours that, 14 years ago, Peter and Kyle came together and came up with an idea. It was not a unique idea. There were big buck bracket races already happening all over the place. There were already $1 million events. There were already this, there were already that. They came up with this idea not to take and put together something brand new, but to take something that existed and tweak it and make it better.
Yep.
Basically to go out there and set the bar. They looked around. They looked at different facilities. They looked at different events. They adopted that mantra of race it, experience it. The race it part, that foundation was already there. That foundation, I mean, you bring a bunch of cars together, you pair them up, you send them down the racetrack, winner comes back, and you go round after round after round until you crown one winner and you hand that person a big check and a trophy.
Yep.
That part was easy.
Yep.
It was the second part of that mantra, experience it, that they wanted to take that part to another level for the racer. They wanted to take that and say, listen, what is going to make that racer not forget their experience when they come to our race at our facility? And so they found, top-notch racetracks. And the one they picked, essentially they picked a track in Tennessee that is a picture-perfect backdrop. You roll into the place, and the first time I rolled in there, I thought, man, what is this, a KOA campground, or is this a racetrack, right? It is a beautiful facility with fantastic people, awesome crew that really care about the racer, and they brought all the racers together there and said, okay, this is step one of the experience. We're going to bring you to a track that is like none other. So they did that. Then they started, and this is what absolutely, when I decided, do I want to continue on, if they invite me back, do I want to be part of this? That very first race, there were several decisions that I watched them make in the tower, and they looked at each other each time, and the question they asked to each other is, will the racers like it?
Right.
That was the last question they asked before a decision was made, and they decided that if the racers didn't like it, they wouldn't do it. So it's all about that experience, and what you just said, now we've expanded it with the YouTube channel, so you can experience it anytime.
Yep.
They've got the live feed, so you can experience it live while it's going on. Again, like you're saying, 3,000 people are watching right now to see who's going to be the 9th person crowned as $1 million winner. Again, they didn't come up with a new idea. They perfected the experience.
Absolutely. Hey, we'll take dragsters to the lanes for round number 6, please. Dragsters to the lanes for round number 6. And, and always, I think and not that I've ever promoted a race in my life, but I've been a part of a lot of different races or whatever throughout my life. And you can typically, a lot of promoters, they go, okay, what's going to put more money in my pocket? You take this race this year, Peter made a decision. Let's be real. It took money out of his pocket with going the single entry format for the 30Ks.
Mm-hmm.
There were so many cars last year because why? He didn't go, well, because I just don't want to be here late. He said, I want my customers to have the experience. So what he basically said was, I'm going to take money out of my own pocket just so I can make sure that people get what they expect, even if that means I'm going to take a hit.
Exactly.
And that to me speaks volumes because it's just very different.
I ordered a set of 12. Hopefully it'll work.
Ronnie, thank you so much, and we appreciate your help this week as well. I know you got busy the one day, going a whole bunch of rounds, but you were always so good to come up here and offer. Even when you were in the midst of racing, you were willing to come up here and go, hey, do you guys need anything? Hey, you need some help?
Oh, absolutely.
And you were always here. And like I said, I'm going, wait a minute. Ronnie, shouldn't you go race? I mean, weren't you here to race? Aren't you still in the race? But it didn't matter. You put our needs ahead of your own in a lot of situations, so we appreciate that. And there's always people that are willing to do that. And that's what I love about this Fling team, that everybody is looking out for one another all the time. Now I will tell you, you don't get all the behind-the-scenes stuff. You don't get to experience all of it. We are downright tough on each other. We are like it is like a family. We literally are hard on each other, but I know that every member of this team would go to bat for the other as well, and that's a great thing to be a part of, and that's always been fun. I've understood the more of these races that I'm able to do, the harder time that I get while I'm here, the more in the family I'm getting to be. So I'm thankful for that.
There is those tough love moments. I mean, you had me almost ready to cry a couple of times when you yelled at me when you shut the mics off, but that's okay.
That was okay. Untrue. But I really did know I'd really arrived this week whenever Lela has started busting my chops this week. And I mean, once she started, she has not let go. She did say something nice to me this morning. She said, just because I felt like I've been so rough on you this week. But that's when I really knew. I'm like, when you get to the point where Lela is comfortable enough to bust your chops, you know you've done something. So I was like, man, she does like me.
There you go. You are in good shape.
Absolutely.
And you are in good hands.
Hey, Larry Shupert, want to say hey to you. And she might have went to bed, but I mentioned the Justin and Daniels. I know that there's another little girl watching a lot of these live feeds, Hallie Dawn May in Greentown, Indiana, which you'll know this name. It's Wes and Kaylee May's daughter.
Okay.
So I'm sure Brody might be in bed. He may not, but they're probably watching out there somewhere. So I want to give a shout out to them, and Scott and Dawn Daniels, the track owners at Muncie. They're always good to watch too. And like I said, I owe a lot of my stuff I owe to people like that, because people put a microphone in my hand back at home, and if you'd have told me, hey, one of these days you're going to be in Las Vegas doing this, would have laughed. It's just crazy, but I've been very fortunate, that Big Jed called me several years ago and said, hey, Peter Biondo is looking for somebody to come to Bristol and fill in, and I'm never been so thankful in my life to have said yes to that phone call, because it's definitely opened a lot of doors for me since then. And it's not just, oh, look, you can go announce this race, but it's the people I've been able to meet that I'll be honest, my path would have probably never crossed, with a lot of these people. And that's what it's about. We talk about the parts calls and these things about the racing family. I don't care how many miles apart we all live when we get together. We're just racing family, you know, and that's what I love about this sport. You don't get that in a lot of areas, a lot of venues, a lot of sports in general. You get all the competition, you get all that going at each other, but this truly is, it's a racing family. We're all here for one another. We all ultimately have each other's backs, and that's what I love about it.
That is 100% true. We will pick up that thought here again in a moment. I know we are getting down towards the time where you're going to need to go. I certainly hope that we can get in at least one more round before you've got to take off, but again, kind of with that mobile camera, you can see that they've gone back behind the tower. They're going to start getting everybody together. They're going to start having their conversations. Again, for those that were listening yesterday, we're going to switch over to the golf announcer mode because we don't want to disrupt the conversation. So
they've heard us enough.
While we do allow you to visualize what is happening back in the staging lanes, we do not share the audio. That is up to them. They will have their conversations, and for the moment, we'll allow you to watch. What are they on that? What NHRA broadcast? They call it the sounds of the strip. We're going to call this the silent sound of the split.
That's right.
The silence of the split, which is way different than the silence of the lambs.
Way different. At times it may look the same, but it's not.
Philip, closed caption for Philip. You got 15 cars left. You've got all the round money plus $325,000 at the top. It is definitely not too early to talk split.
I talk split round 1.
And it's
Who wants to split a buyback?
and it's definitely never too early to talk. Oh, I can't say that word. It rhymes with split.
That is very true. Nate's golf announcing game is top.
So as Elvis sang, a little less conversation, a lot more action. The discussion has been completed. They're putting them in the cars. We have got our Larice Pro Final that's going to be coming up. We'll have some Super Pro door cars, and then we'll get into our Super Pro dragsters, and we will cut this field in half again. There is a lot of money in the pot, Jonathan. $325,000 and plus the round money that's still left. But we're going to get our Larice Pro cars up here. Again, that Larice Pro bonus for the winner each day. And what? Marissa Winley got it on day number 1.
Yep.
Falk got it on day number 2.
Yep.
We still did decide day number 3. But today, it's doubled from a $1,000 bonus to a $2,000 bonus for whoever lights up the last win light.
And it's about to be nasty.
It is. It is. It's just going to stay nasty. I'll tell you what, Ronald. From the opportunities that I've had every once in a while to get out there and kind of be a fly on the wall listening to the discussions, Pete definitely does not need anybody but him to handle those discussions. They are handled efficiently, effectively, and it usually goes down pretty good. I would love to have been back there to listen to it, especially with, you know, the 2 pro cars that are back there, Luke still being alive in 2, all of those factors that kind of play into how they're going to try to split up that money. That is... I can promise just listening in on that conversation is second to none. Second to none. I know, Steve, when you're racing and you get back there in those conversations, you probably hold your own.
Yeah. Yeah, I go, what can I get? Anything. I'll just take what I can get. It's been a while. I'll be honest. It's been a while since I've been in one of those conversations.
No, it hasn't.
But you're right. They are. I mean, it's just very... yeah, it's a lot. I mean, let's be real. I mean, this is you people have spent a lot of money to be here this week, a lot of investment to be here and that stuff. And so when you get to this point, you go, man, let's make it worthwhile for everybody. You know, people go, well, why don't you just race for all of it? Well, when people say that, generally it's because they haven't made the investment that a lot of these people had to be here. When a lot of them come across country, do those things, so all of a sudden it's like they have a chance to get themselves whole or positive for the week. Yeah, that's important conversations.
Yep, and not only that, you can see as Ticklefitz was walking back up this direction with the mobile cam, they made a lap right down by the limo. The limo has arrived and is ready to take the winner down to the South Point for their night in the suite.
Oh, I thought that was for my airport trip.
Well, yeah, I mean, we got time. It might as well run you down there.
Maybe Severio's
Severio's saying,
absolutely.
I've already claimed the limo. Yeah, we should get the limo to take you guys out and go for a lap in the pits.
Yeah, there you go. Be a good time. All right. So we are here at our Larice Pro Final.
Take care of that.
The winner's going to come back and continue on racing for $325,000. We got Brian Cerruti, Niles, Ohio, 67 Camaro left side on a 635. And Mayfield, Kentucky own Charlie Lockhart, 587 right side. Troy, thank you so much. I mean, appreciate that. But I know the good news is I'll catch you on the live feed here in a few weeks. And on down the road as well. And, well, you know, you always got my Facebook Messenger too. So thank you all for always being so hospitable and putting up with me. I know I'm a lot. So Cerruti and Lockhart going to set a Larice Pro right here.
And Steve, I know since this is pretty much going to be your last round, I'm going to stay out of your way, man.
Well, Nate, I appreciate it. But, hey, you feel free to jump in anytime you see something or want to say something. You're always welcome. 6-20. Lockhart and Cerruti. Finish line goes to Lockhart. 006 take 15 to be 2 above. Cerruti's also 2 above, but he gave up 14 at the starting line. And Lockhart kept 15 for himself at the finish line. So Charlie Lockhart going to continue on in the Silver State million. But man, Brian Cerruti, what a roll. He had a really, really good week. Here we go. The rest of our round number 6. Garrett Griffith, Alexandria, Kentucky, 6 flat on the left side. Michael Miller, 582 right side. Out of New Mexico. Wow. Advantage G-Man. Finish line. Garrett Griffith, 009, takes 17 to be 2 above. 34 total for Griffith. Miller was 34 the let go. So he had to go dead zero to have a chance, but he goes 1 above 7 to be on the wrong side. Garrett Griffith moving on. Luke Bogacki, Carterville, Illinois, 477 left side. Chad Sandlin, Burleson, Texas, 652 right side. It's a lot of math. I think it's 1.75 seconds going to Chad Sandlin. Luke carried 2 entries into this round, and he'd like to take 2 to the next one. And I don't see any reason he's going to stop. 005 for Bogacki, but no. Oh my goodness, Luke takes 72 to be 3 thou under. Sandlin is 24 and 5 above. Wow. Chad Sandlin dodged a big, big bullet right there. And he'll return for round number next. Luke's going to come back and have another shot at it. So we're going to have to let Luke saddle up again and bring the other ride. Boy, I haven't opened my Facebook Messenger in a little bit, Nate, and boy, folks back home are it's a mixed bag. Yeah, there's some compliments in there, getting my chops busted. Brandon Dillman, that's all right. I'll give a shout out to his better half, Allison. So if I can get Brandon in trouble, that's fine. So there you go. After I said I wouldn't do it, that's all right. Why not? I'm not the one in trouble. I'm not the one there. I'm all the way in Vegas. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, and you can't hold it against me. So there you go. So just waiting for Luke to come back.
All right, so as you said, we're just waiting on Luke to get back as he was our last double-entered car. And definitely some surprises that happen from time to time. That's what makes kind of these final rounds so exciting.
Yep, AD, you are correct. And 99SX, I have not. I don't know about.
No.
Okay, it's a no for Nate, too.
No, I have done some of the streetcar super national stuff here. I love the heads-up street racing kind of aspect of it, but I'm a bracket guy at heart.
Yep, me too.
I'm a bracket guy at heart. I love this.
I try to be good at what I like, and so I wouldn't. That's that other stuff. It's cool to watch on occasion, but it's I don't have a lot of passion there. My passion's bracket racing. So.
Oh, I definitely love watching it. I mean, it's exciting as all get out, and I could certainly find myself, when the opportunities that come here to Vegas, because we get all kinds of stuff here. I mean, heck, not that I'm going to be doing it, but we're going to have like Supercross here, where they're actually going to cover everything with. I mean, they're putting up a motocross track here.
Oh wow!
And it's going to be run out here, and that's going to be cool to come out and watch. The keyword watch. But it's going to be really neat. It's going to be really cool. But the PDRA stuff, they don't run a lot of that out here. But it is definitely cool.
Brandon Wiseman will do it, but I'm just going to be a passenger. I'll let the pilot take care of getting me home. Hopefully I'll be asleep. So.
I appreciate that, Joe. Steve makes me better.
Well, I say the same.
Or forces me to try to be better. We'll leave it at that.
I just aspire. Sometimes I am, and sometimes maybe I'm worse. I'm not sure which, but it's okay. But hey, Joe McCoy, it's good to hear from you. Thanks for checking in all week.
I'm looking for my turn in a couple of weeks to sit and listen to. You're going to Galot, right?
Yes.
So I'm sitting listening to you, and JJ, I think, is going to be down there with you.
Yep, that's the plan.
I look forward to that.
Me too. It's always fun. And I thought the ribbon was rough here. It'll only get better. When JJ's in the house, Pete goes on high alert. I pay the price.
That is good.
No, Larry Schubert, I'm Spirit. That's the only one that would leave Vegas at 11:30 and get me back to Indiana at 6 a.m. Hey, also, don't forget, if you have not closed out your tab, we are asking you to please do so. Please get your tabs closed out, so be less that needs to be done later tonight or tomorrow or whatever. If you are finished and all that stuff's handled, please come and square off your tab. Thank you, Bubba. I appreciate it. Hopefully I'll catch a nap on the plane home. But it's hard to after leaving an event like this. I'll be wired for a while, so we'll see. I'll sleep at some point tomorrow. Thank you for all the safety well wishes. I'll be all prayed up before I leave, so I'll leave that in bigger hands than mine.
Randy, I'm going to have to I don't know that we've fully decided that yet. I would love the opportunity to get over there on Memorial Day weekend down at Bakersfield and see Mark and the entire crew and get back together with Chris. And hopefully I can pull that off, but I've got some things that I need to balance out here and get figured out. But if not, I guarantee Chris is going to find some folks that'll have y'all in good hands. I was down in Tucson doing the shootouts down there. And doing the showdown down there, and hopefully I can get over to Bakersfield that weekend, but we'll see.
Jeremy Mitchell, stop it. You can make those comments after 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It felt like it, though. I understand.
Gregory, the answer is 296. All right. I like that sound.
Yes. Troy Abercrombie, that's probably dangerous. I'd be afraid what might come up there.
Well, Randy, I appreciate that. I would love it if I was there for you to come up and say hello. And Mike English, thanks for the text, man. I'd love to be in Bakersfield as well. You going to be up there? I hope so. I haven't seen you in a long time, man. That would be really good if we could do that. Maybe that's a little reason. It's actually my birthday weekend. Maybe I'll talk to Alicia and be like, you know what I want to do for my birthday? And she'll be, well, all right. But Chris did say I could bring the family.
There you go.
Because there's so much to do for families in Bakersfield.
I was going to say, yeah, she's going to go, oh, boy. Thank you. Oh, here she is, too. Okay. No. Play them up. Randy, thank you so much. Appreciate that. All right, here we go. We're back at it. So we've got G-Dub, Gary Williams, 484, left side. Eric Mann, Water Sucks, Somerville, Georgia, right side on the 454. You know, to think about that too, Nate, you know, talk about things that have gone this week. I mean, had I not been here, I would have never known about Water Sucks. And now, I couldn't imagine this week without it. I wouldn't have made it. I would not have made it. So Eric Mann fixed us all up with the electrolyte drink mix called Water Sucks, and it's been helpful. I mean, I'm hydrated. I don't have the voice scratchies or all that stuff I normally have after several days. I'm happy. So if nothing else,
definitely made it easier to make that switch from the soda that we drink in the morning to just bottles of water throughout the day. So
absolutely,
as you said, G-Dub and Eric Mann.
3/10 separate them up here. No. It's a electrolyte drink mix you add to the water. That's what, but it's just called Water Sucks. That's what it's about. It's Water SUX. 002 to a 16. Advantage G-Dub. Win light going to come on for G-Dub. 002 dead 9. 11 total as Eric Mann, I believe, checked out. He was behind, couldn't get there, and I believe he just checked out. He's 4 above. 458 on the 454. But nice run there for Eric Mann today.
That is one of those things where you look at it and realize that these guys going at 135, 140 miles an hour realize that I'm not going to get there, and they'll bail out, save the hassle and the frustration. You just go, look, this is it. I'm letting this one go.
Yep. And as we've seen earlier, you just never know when your opponent's going to break out. So you say, hey, there's no sense chasing a race I can't get to. Let him go. Tom Clark, 450 on the left side. Jeff Serra, Adamstown, Pennsylvania, 461 right side. As I can see my final pair right here next to the tower.
I'm going to sit and admire the master.
Well, they'll be here maybe after I leave. Maybe they're waiting in the wings. So Jeff Serra, get 1100s in the right-hand side. Yes, Mandy Maple, you are right. He has. He was good to us, so we're trying to be good to him. 8 to a 9. Clark and Serra light it up for Jeff Serra. Double breakout. He's 008. Get behind 003 to be 4 thou under. Tom Clark is under by 8 thou. Jeff Serra, margin of victory, 46-10 thou. Kyle Coltrera, Elliott, Maine, 476 left side. Aaron Johnson, Springdale, Arkansas, 489 right side. 1300s head start. Going to go to Aaron Johnson, and Coltrera going to give chase. Taking their time. Both of them pre-stage. Who's going in first? I'm going to guess Johnson, but what do I know? I got a 50-50 shot, though. It's a good news. Yep. See? 0 for 1. 17 to a 39 advantage. Coltrera. Finish line. Coltrera, 17. 1 above 6, taking 7. Aaron Johnson puts it dead on 1, but was 39 on the starting line, and that spells defeat. Victory going to Kyle Coltrera. Final pair, then we'll have a bye run. Corey Galletti, Tomball, Texas, 435 left side. Luke Brogacki, 464 right side. 2900's head start goes to Luke. Nine to a 10. Who's going to drive it right? Give it to Cool Hand Luke. That is, wow. You come back from what just happened a minute ago, and then you come back and you lay down 10 total. That's what separates the good from the great. Luke shook it off and said, hey, that's over. Let's come back and lay something down. And he does exactly that. He's 10 total. Wow. And my final call of the week. Double O2 red, but goes dead 3. 458 on that 458. And be back for the next round. So that completes my week here at the Moser Engineering Spring Fling Million presented by Optima Batteries. Big thanks to everybody here at the Strip at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, everybody watching out in YouTube land. Big thanks to Peter and Emily and the whole Fling staff, and especially this guy next to me, Nate, for an incredible week, incredible time that I've enjoyed thoroughly. So next time I'll see you down the road, see you in Galat. But for now, I'm heading to an airport and heading back to Indiana. So I'll catch you all soon.
Steve, we wish you the best, man. Safe travels, and I certainly look forward to the next time that we sit down into a booth together. You have been an awesome co-announcing partner. It has been my pleasure to have you here, get to show you a little bit of Vegas. We didn't go get see a lot of Vegas, but what you did see, hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully you had a great time for the first time here in our town, and I hope you come back very, very soon, man. I am looking forward to see you down the road. So while Steve's getting his stuff all buttoned up, we're going to go down, and for those of you that are kind of on the live feed, we're going to take a close look inside the limo. Again, how many races do you get to kind of come down and as a winner get hosted in a suite in a major hotel? I mean, you can ask the Schmall family just how cool that suite really, really is, but the limousine is parked just off the return road. Every racer that's coming down here, granted, that's not exactly what they're racing for, but they all understand that that's a pretty cool deal. I mean, full blacked out stretch limo, neon inside. That is a true Vegas experience. And the cool thing about it is from here to the hotel that they're staying at is way down on the south end of the Strip. The track is up in the north end of town. So they're going to come out of here. They're getting it on I-15, and in that limo, they are going to run all the way down past the Strip. They'll get to see all the lights. They'll see the Stratosphere Tower. They'll get to see the Sphere. They'll see all of it. And everybody on the freeway is going to be looking at them knowing that they are going for a ride in a limo. But you've got, I mean, look at that. That right there is enough to party in all night long. Yeah, Yeah, the S-Box, this is not exactly a Super 8 type experience. This is like top of the world, high class, full-on limousine that will be waiting for our winner. I mean, last time we put the winner in that thing, we pulled it right up on the return road. They went straight out of the winner's circle and had the limo take them back to their pits. You get somebody else to drive the race car back to the pits. You jump in the limo and have the limo take you back to your pits. Oh, I'm telling you, it is quite the experience. It is quite the opportunity. I mean, full-on leather interior. That is one amazing ride. Pete knows how to take care of people. Peter and Kyle actually came up with the idea of let's put them in a limo. And the cool thing about it, the very first limo that we had was actually, what, a stretch Challenger, right? Yeah, it was that white stretch Challenger. That right. There are certain things I forget. There are other things that, like a stretched out Dodge Challenger, that you don't forget. All right, racers, so as they walk back away from the limousine, knowing that that is waiting on our winner here tonight, we've got some paperwork that we're taking care of here in the tower. Racers on property, your attention, please. Racers on property, your attention, please. For those of you that were waiting on round number 3 of the 30K from yesterday, we are running a little bit farther behind than we had anticipated. We are not going to keep everybody up until the wee hours of the morning. So for those of you that were waiting to resume the ATIperformance.com 30K Friday, we are going to go ahead and resume with that in the morning. So you, if you are not in the million, based on where it is, we will resume in the morning. So if you are waiting on tonight or waiting on yesterday's 30K, feel free to make your decisions, whether you want to hang out here and watch the completion of the million, which I don't know why you would not. But if you are done racing in the million and are waiting for tomorrow's race, that is all going to be tomorrow. So feel free to crack into the ice chest, have yourself a nice little meal, kick back, and watch what is going to happen as we continue on through tonight's event. I think it would be pretty cool. I would definitely agree with that. It would be cool to have them tell us the story behind the conversation where they decided to get things put together, come up with the limo idea, come up with the showgirl idea, come up with all that kind of stuff. I mean, obviously, it makes sense. If you're in Vegas, you might as well have showgirls. Because everything big in Vegas has showgirls. I mean, from the very beginning. I'm surprised they didn't have showgirls lined up when they closed the Tropicana, because that was like, that was, I mean, wasn't it, was it Foley's Bergère was the show that was at the Tropicana. It was Lido Di Paris that was at Stardust. But Foley's Bergère was at the Tropicana, and it's going to be pretty cool. But, yeah, they had that whole idea. There's plenty to be there. Oh, Gleghorn. I figured you would have came through with that one a long time ago, man. I figured you would have came through with that one a while ago. My buddy, Ryan Gleghorn. Oh, appreciate that, Ryan. Thanks for the little reminder there, my friend. That's pretty good. But yeah, that limo is pretty cool. I know. I think Severio's already been out there and climbed around in it. Got a feel for what it's like to be in a limo in Vegas. Yeah, from the little smile he just gave me, I'm sure he has. It was pretty cool, wasn't it? Yeah, he's nodding his head. He says, "Yeah, that thing was That thing was definitely pretty awesome. Oh, my goodness. Now I got to hear from Jake Hodge. I'm just going to decline that.
Looks like we're taking a little break off of here.
I was going to say, when you said we've been partying all week.
Just taking a little break while the racers get back and ready.
Get my phone number. Thanks.
Gonna fill up their tires if they have to. Put a little bit of gas in there.
We were freezing our... Come on, man.
Up to the top.
Oh, well.
7 or 8.
All right, man.
Think it's 8.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, well, I certainly appreciate the phone call from Jake Hodge. That was nice. Of course, the text messages from Ryan Gleghorn, those were nice too. And for those of you that know the deal, you know what that was all about. You don't? Well, let's just say that maybe next year. Oh, I don't know if you'll be here next year either, but I sure hope you are. Severio's up here hanging out with me as we are waiting. We're waiting for the call to go out, and we are getting down to it again. As we had said, we have got only a handful of cars left. We've still got just under 3,000 people watching along to see who gets to go home with the big check. Who gets to take the ride in the limo?
That's how I put it.
Yeah? Well, let me do say this. Let me do say this. Andy Schmall from Idaho
Yeah?
took the ride in the limo last year.
Oh.
The showgirls are here. Severio. Severio, you got Miss Olivia is escorting the showgirls around. We're happy. Hi, nice to see you guys again. Hello, hello. So the showgirls have rolled in here. Where's Warren with the mobile camera? Because we gave a tour of the limo, and I know you guys have seen the showgirls in the winner's circle before, but it's very rare, and it's only like once a year, like here during this event, that we get kind of all of the large plumes, the head wear, and all of that kind of stuff, especially the fact that we've got the Mosier Engineering Spring Fling Million presented by Optimum Batteries logo, loud and proud, on a showgirl headdress. Do we call them headdresses? I can't remember. It's a headdress. All right. I want to make sure I get this terminology correct. So here we go. So here's what I'm going to do. Severio, let me get that real quick, just because we did the limo tour and our showgirls typically, and I'm not really kind of hopefully speaking out of turn here, but typically showgirls are seen and not heard. But our Vegas showgirls here, you guys have been here for a long, long time. You're coming back every year, and I want to have you guys introduce yourself to those that are watching in. I know we've got the mobile camera right here. Say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody. Hi. I'm Jennifer, and I'm so happy come out here. I know the wind was a problem. Oh, is it too dark in here?
That is better. That is better.
I know the wind was a problem yesterday, so we're happy we can still make it out here today with everybody. But again, hi everybody, I'm Jennifer, and I'll pass it over here.
Hello everybody, my name is Olivia, and I'm so happy to be here. It's a lot of fun, meeting a lot of good friends right here. And thank you so much for having me, having us. It's a lot of fun. Thank you.
Awesome.
Usually we're dancing and not talking.
Well, thank you, Jennifer and Julio. We appreciate you guys being here. It is going to be a great time. We've got a whole lot of racing. Well, let's just say you guys have shown up here at times where we still had a whole lot of racing to go. We are actually down into only a few left. And so it is not going to be too long before we announce our winner. We put them in the limo. We hand out trophies, and everybody gets to start taking pictures with you guys. Yeah, you guys do your there is an appropriate showgirl rave, right? Kind of like the parade wave where you actually you have to do the elbow, and I don't know, is there like
You mean like the Queen wave? Or
yeah, not like that.
I feel like we can be a little bold with it.
There we go. I like that. That'll work.
Wink in there, you know.
That'll work. All right, so like I said, we've taken a tour of the limo. We've met our showgirls, Jennifer and Julvia. We are, I believe, while we're waiting on our cars to make their way back into the staging lanes, we've got 8 left in the Spring Fling Million, and we have called our drivers back to the staging lane, so we are coming back on a ladder. Peter is going to head back there and have the conversations that he has. Warren is going to go down and get something set up here because this morning we had a very, very special thing happen before we got into the Spring Fling Million. Again, we're talking about, Miss Olivia. All right, we're going to take a break here and give Warren an opportunity to get down. I am now beyond that magic age of 5'0", so I'm going to put on my special glasses, my very special glasses. The ladder is in. We've got 8 left. Here's what the ladder looks like. Williams with lane choice over Barber. Griffith with lane choice over Bogacki. Lockhart with lane choice over Sandlin. And Sarah with lane choice over Coltrera. So it's Williams, lane choice over Barber. Griffith with lane choice over Bogacki. Lockhart with lane choice over Sandlin. And Sarah with lane choice over Coltrera. Now, speaking of Jeff Sarah, everybody knows that we ran the Brodix Run for the 50K this morning. Severo, you were here. You watched this all go down. All of the racers that are entered in the million had an opportunity to jump into the Brodix Run for the 50K. Top 3 packages went home with some great prizes. We had a set of SR20 heads that were given away to the top package. We had $2,000 that was given away to the second best package. A Spring Fling Million entry was given away to the third best package. But if one racer was able to go perfect, put up a perfect lap, they were given $50,000. This morning, for the second time ever in Fling history, it happened. Jeff Sarah was trip zip 461-0 on a 461 and claimed that 50 grand. If you're watching online, go ahead and watch this about what happened this morning.
I was on the right
I was able to
lane.
make 2 time runs. So my first time run, my car showed me that it could go like a 460 with a 7 or something like that. So dialed 461. I was able to let go. I didn't really think I had a great light, so I hit my bump down one time. And then as I'm coming through the finish line, I kind of rubbed on the brakes while keeping the throttle wide open, and it worked out.
Oh, look at that.
000 for Jeff. And he did it.
Oh, he does it. He does it.
He got it.
Trip, zip, dead, 0. Jeff Sarah. And at least a share of the Brodix Run for the 50K.
I've won a couple races at the Flings, but you know, the feeling when I went through the finish line and saw the dead on 0 after the 000 reaction time, it was like almost like an out-of-body experience. You know, it was something that it almost tops winning. You know, that instant, because like when you win a race, there's like a build-up. You know, you go through you know, a bunch of rounds to get to the final, so you kind of know that you might could win once you get to that point. But like, it was just like instant shock. Like, I'm going down the track thinking that, you know, I'm still at that point, I'm like 50-50 or less, and then to see the finish line light up dead on with a 0 is just, it's even hard to describe, basically. I was thinking how lucky I am, you know, just to be able to have these opportunities. Like, I lived so far away, and then I was able to come race for Shane Thompson in Silver State. I'm thankful that, you know, he trusts me with his equipment, lets me race. And then I was just thinking, like, I wish my kids were here, my 2 daughters, Adrian and Brianna. Wish they were here to see it. You know, I called them immediately after, but, you know, if they were here, that would have probably just took it up just one more notch. Never a bad time when you get to take some of Peter's money.
Oh, second time. Steve Witherow did it in Bristol, and now Jeff Serra has done it here in Vegas. Again, we're down to just 8 cars left. Racers, just a reminder that tomorrow morning is when we will resume the $30,000 race for tomorrow. Again, we were going to try to get a little bit done tonight. Unfortunately, we're running a little bit long, but trust me, the show is definitely worth it with what we've got going on right now. Down to just 8 left in the Silver State Refrigeration Spring Fling Million. Again, at the Mosier Engineering Spring Fling Million, presented by Optima Batteries. Again, coming back into the staging lanes, you have been called to join us. Williams with lane choice over Barber, Griffith with lane choice over Bagaki, Lockhart with lane choice over Sandlin, and Sarah, who you just saw the whole deal about him winning $50,000 today, is now just adding to his take in Vegas as he gets lane choice over Kyle Cotrera. So we are going to get those drivers back into the staging lanes. We are going to let them do whatever additional conversations they need to do. And once we are done with that, we will bring those 8 cars back for our quarterfinal round here at the Spring Fling Million. Again, we want to say thanks to the sponsors who have all been part of this Mosier Engineering Spring Fling Million. I want to thanks to the folks at Pinella Race Engines, who have been our round number 1 sponsor for best losing package throughout this event. I want to say thanks to Biondo Racing Products. We really appreciate everything that Biondo continues to do in their partnership with us here at the Spring Fling. ATI Performance Products, Rad Torque Systems, Hoosier, and Mickey Thompson have all come together for many, many years to be part of this. Again, thanks to the folks at Performance Polish for our Best Appearing Car Award. I want to say thanks to those at Autometer, Crew Chief Pro, Optima Batteries, K&N, Fuel Factory, Kid Performance for sponsoring tonight's Calcutta. Everybody that's on this list, racers, you've got this. We've got Impact, Mazir Enterprises, Regiels, Altronics, Computech. The folks that you see the names on this brochure, these are the folks that as you are out shopping for your racing program, they are the names that you should turn to first. They are the names that are supporting your racing. They're turning around and taking those dollars that you put into their pocket and putting it right back into yours by sponsoring these kinds of events so that we can be all out here doing this racing. Of course, Jegs, Hoosier, they're sponsoring this live feed so that the 3,000 people that are watching online right now that can't make it to Vegas, you can watch. You can stay in touch with what's happening in the sport that we all know and love. Thank you to Silver State for their sponsorship of the 30,000 Wednesday and today's million. Thank you to Larice Motorsports Insurance for your day sponsor on Thursday, and thank you to FTI for your day sponsor on Friday. This is just going to be a spectacular finish to what has proven to be, yet again, another very spectacular race. And we still have an opportunity at seeing the first repeat winner of the million. Jeff Verdi was winner number 1. Luke Bagaki, who is still in, was our second million winner ever in 2017. He still remains in the game and could not only make it to where he was the second name added to the trophy, he could be the 9th if he's able to go a few more rounds. But there are 7 other drivers out there that want to make sure that they become racer number 9 to join Randall Reed, Peeps Pennington, Scotty Richardson, Bo Butner, Kevin Brandon, and Andy Schmall as winners of the million. Here we go. Quarterfinals. Couple of door cars are going to go side by side. Your last racer standing out of Larice Pro today was Charlie Lockhart. Lockhart out of Mayfield, Kentucky is rolling up on the right side, going up against Chad Sandlin, driving the Nova on the left side. Severio is popped back in here. Severio, what do we got up on the board for dials?
We got Chad down at a 452. 652. Charlie down at a 588. Charlie gonna be a lot faster this time. 002 red for Charlie, gonna lose because Chad, 017 green, and Chad still broke out. Off by 0 under with a 8. And Charlie, his dial was off.
Yeah, Charlie ended up bailing out of it. Saw the red light, cruises down to go 671 on that 588 dial, but 2 thousandths of a second eliminates the pro winner here tonight as Chad Sandlin is 17 green and goes 650 on a 652. That is going to bring up Garrett Griffith and Luke Bagacki. Garrett in the Malibu broke the pickup truck in round number 1, goes to the backup car with no runs on it, and has made his way down to only 8 remaining. 599 for the racer out of the left lane. Luke Bagacki dialed in at 463 in the dragster.
005 for Luke, and he got the win light. 004 for Garrett. It looks like Luke was dead on with a 6.
Luke was dead on with a 6. 1,000th of a second separated him in reaction time. And Garrett Griffiths with a 004 reaction time comes up 6,000ths of a second short at the finish line. Luke Bagacki, 005, dead 6. Garrett was 004 and 1 above to come up 6,000ths short of a trip to the semifinals, as now Mike Barber, who had the bye in the last round, which looks to be the last bye of the event, is now paired up with Gary Williams. Rogersford, Pennsylvania, represented by Mike Barber with that 458 dial. Gary Williams coming in out of Bradenton, Florida with that 484 dial. Barber's in. Williams is in. Gary Williams goes red by 3,000ths of a second, and Mike Barber.
It looks like people are going to be going to the swear jar.
Absolutely. I guarantee you, people on the starting line should be going to the swear jar.
Yeah. It looks like Gary his dial was way off.
Now Gary Williams went red and gets out of the throttle to coast down there to a 929. Mike Barber, 007, 459 on a 458.
Looks like next up we have Jeff Serra. Can he do it again? Dialed at a 461 in the right lane. And Kyle Coldrina dialed at a 467, 76.
476 for Kyle Cotrero left side. 461 for Jeff Serra on the right. The man who's already picked up $50,000 today and is trying to stay in the game for another 325,000 more. Kyle Contreras got the pre-stage bulbs lit on the left side. Jeff Serra's got the pre-stage bulbs lit on the right side. We wait. Neither driver showing any interest in going in first at this point. Jeff Serra tickles on the bottom half of the LEDs. There is Contreras. Locked, loaded.
Oh, 10 for Jeff. He has a chance. He will take the win light. He's also dead on with a 9. And Kyle. 0-16 green will be eliminated from this race.
So Kyle Contreras, 16 green, takes 18 thou at the stripe to be 15 thou under. Jeff Serra, 10 green, and goes dead on 9. So it's going to be Serra coming back. Bogacki coming back. Sandlin coming back. And Barber coming back. Those are the 4 that will be back. I want to say thank you to Severio for coming in here as we'll get enjoy his last round helping us announce here tonight. Gary, you are sitting here as well, man. Thank you for your help on the mic this weekend, and I think you've got a little support to give to your dad as he still continues on in this race, right? You got to get back there and make sure that he's got his head on straight, knows where he's going, and help keep him focused. Yeah?
There's no way that I can always stand still and unless it's like a wreck or something. There's no way I'm going to stay my entire body still, like frozen.
Oh, I agree. I agree. All right. Well, Severio, thank you much, man. We're going to watch the rest of this thing play out. Thanks, dude.
I didn't know Bogacki was in, so I had to make a choice. At first, it was Scott Taylor. When he lost, it was Jeff Serra. When he won the dead-on 000, the 0.
When he won the 50K?
Then on, I was rooting for Jeff Serra so much.
Yeah?
I knew Luke would catch on though, so we'll see. Can Luke and Jeff end up in the finals?
We'll have to see. They're going to get the ladder ready. Again, we've got 4 left. We'll get the ladder put together, and we'll see what is going to happen. So with that, I'm going to kind of help them understand. I'll help some people understand that, oh, I know what you're looking for. I'll get that for you in just a minute. Just a minute. We were talking about kind of our Tower Calcutta that has come down to its conclusion as well. It has. It is concluded. And it will be a tie. It will. I'm just messing with Jamie Buckowitz because I can. All right, so racers, we're going to let our 4 make their way back into the staging lanes. We'll see what happens. They're going to get the ladder ready as soon as I get that delivered into my hands. We'll get that taken care of. I'm going to step away here for just a moment as I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up with the Tower Calcutta and let them know that they're going to have to split the money. But a split's a split, and it's better than, what do you say, a split's better than getting nothing. So they'll get that squared away, but I got to go find out actually about kind of the kid performance in Dino Calcutta. I don't know who's got that, who's been tracking that, but I got to go get some information and see who's the last man standing there. See if maybe we might still have 4 people in. If they've got Barber or Bogacki or Sandlin or Serra. We're going to find out. So everybody go ahead and hang tight for a minute. We are getting down into our semifinals, which is going to be coming back, and we'll go from there. I don't have the kid performance one. I've got the tower one. That's what was handed to me.
Anthony was on a prowl.
All right, racers, for our four that remain, as soon as you are ready, we will be waiting for you back there in the staging lanes. Obviously, with it getting a little bit later in the evening, we certainly don't want to let too much time go in between rounds, but we certainly don't want to rush you as we understand the gravity of what we're all racing for. So for Barber, Bogacki, Sandlin, and Sarah, whenever you guys are ready, let's go ahead and get you headed back this way. And as soon as I have the ladder, I will go ahead and share that with everybody else. In the meantime, we are running back through our paperwork to double check on our last man standing for $10,000 in our Kid Performance and Dyno, Calcutta. All right. I have the ladder. And if Warren had some kind of a drum roll sound effect, we'd insert it here. So the last four racers remaining in the Mosier Engineering Spring Fling Million presented by Optima Batteries, as we said, were Barber, Bogacki, Sandlin, and Sarah. The semifinals, it'll be Bogacki with lane choice over Sandlin and Barber with lane choice over Sarah. So Bogacki with lane choice over Sandlin, Barber with lane choice over Sarah we're going to go ahead and get those 4 drivers headed back up this way, please. from the list. And again, it's the racer's car number that is key, because you had a lot of drivers that were double entered, and it's based on the number that they took the farthest. Chad Sandlin in car number 53 and Luke Bagacki in car number 341D. So in our $10,000 Calcutta, Sam Northup is holding the ticket that is Chad Sandlin's car number 53. Therese Price is holding the ticket that is car number 341D. Those are the two that are left. And although Jeff Serra was on the list, his list was car number 400. He has made it this far in 400D. So since it's not 400D, it's 400 that was on the list. That one was actually bounced out. That entry was eliminated a little bit earlier. Chad Sandlin, car number 053. And Luke Bagacki in car 341D is what is left. And again, that's Sam Northup and Therese Price. And when it comes down to it, those two are going to race each other this round. So the Calcutta will be determined to this side, or this trip down the racetrack, as well as our two finalists who will race each other in the next round. Again, racers, just a reminder that, again, there will be no additional racing tonight following the conclusion of the Spring Fling Million. We will resume with the FTIperformance.com $30,000 race with round number 3, where we had to postpone it last night. We'll start that tomorrow morning and get things underway at 8 a.m. tomorrow. So with what we have left to go, we're going to find out as our drivers have made their way into the cars back behind the tower. They are going to be firing them up and rolling this direction soon. Sandlin in the door car. Bagacki, Barber, and Sarah all in the dragsters. Hey, as we do get closer towards the end of the night and as we wait for our drivers to make their way up here, racers, if your racing has come to a conclusion, we do want to get you up here into the tower at the Diva desk to close out your tabs, please. Racers, if you could please come out here. Come up to the tower, come see a Diva, close out your tab. We'll get that all finalized and taken care of. But racers, if you are done, let's go ahead and get you up here to see a Diva. Tim, you looking to see if your little guys Tim and Tucker can get a quick shout out to root for the door car? Sure. Tim and Tucker, here's your quick shout out to root for the door car. We'll kind of do that. It is, absolutely. Kind of like the last 2 minutes of a basketball game, Scott. We were talking about that the other day. About how, you know, if you've got 5 minutes left in a basketball game, you've really got about 35 minutes left. Thank you very much, Tim. I appreciate that. But, again, we're going to decide our finalists to run for $325,000. We're going to decide our winner of the $10,000 Kid Performance and Dyno Calcutta, all coming up within the next few minutes. And then, Scott, to your point, kind of like the last 2 minutes of a basketball game, hopefully we don't foul anybody, but we'll call a timeout. We'll go back to the bench. We'll think about our game plan for the next 2.1 seconds of the game. So the Pennsylvanians get paired up to run here in round number 1. Jeff Serra, who's already won the Brodix run for the 50K and has been running out of the left lane, or excuse me, the right lane the majority of the day. Going to line up in the left lane this time. He has got a 461, which is exactly what he was able to win that $50,000 with. Ended up running that 461.0 this morning. Got him 50 grand. Can a 461 here against Mike Barber? Dialed in at a 459 out of Rogersford, Pennsylvania. Got Adamstown versus Rogersford. Mike Barber, 459, right side of the racetrack. Jeff Serra, 461, left side of the racetrack. Pre-stage bulbs are lit. Mike Barber has found the stage beam. Sarah's there. Tree drops. 6 thou separate them in reaction time. Win light. Sarah does it again with a 461. 004, dead on 8. To be 12 thou total. Mike Barber was 10 on the tree. And then goes 461 on a 469. So Jeff Serra gets around Mike Barber and will make an appearance in the final round of the million, as we'll bring out Chad Sandlin and Luke Bagacki. Sandlin with a 651 dial in the yellow Nova out of Texas. Luke coming in out of Illinois with that 462 for the This Is Bracket Racing Elite. Red light start for Chad Sandlin by 1/1000th of a second. 001 red. Sandlin's day comes to a close in the semifinals. Luke Bagacki, 10 on the tree, and both of them out of the throttle. Luke goes 488 on that 462, so it will be a Bagacki and Serra final, which will absolutely be one for the ages. Here at the strip, and with that win light lighting up for Luke Bagacki, that also means that in our $10,000 to win Kid Performance in Dyno Calcutta, Therese Price is going to be our last person standing. So Luke, you got a new fan. Therese Price is going to be pretty happy with the performance that you put on here today. Might even send you a Christmas card or two. So with that, Serra and Bagacki will be coming back in the final of the 2024 Mosier Engineering Spring Fling Million presented by Optima Batteries. For guys like Sandlin, for guys like Barber, for folks like Garrett Griffith, Charlie Lockhart, Kyle Cotrera, and Gary Williams, I can promise you that with the amount of money that was out there on the table, it was a pretty darn good day. It was a really good day as far as what they were able to go home with. I can't tell you what they went home with. I haven't seen the sheet. I don't know. But what I do know is that I'm sure with the conversations that they had, they made it all worthwhile. So we have got two of the best to ever sit behind the wheel of a race car that are going to be going side by side in what will be an epic final here at the Strip at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Sarah and Bogacki, I can promise you neither one will take the other lightly. I can promise you they've already got game plans in their head as far as how they will handle it. When they line up in the opposite lanes from each other. We have a potential for a brand new name to be added to the list of winners. We have a potential for a first-time repeat. Again, it was back in 2017 at the second ever Spring Fling Million that Luke Bogacki was the last man to hold the trophy. And then, Tim, to answer your question, you said when was the last time that somebody had hit the run for the 50K at the million? Well, here in Vegas, Jeff was the first one. The only other time that somebody had picked Peter's pocket for $50,000 is when Steve Witherow did it in Bristol. Chris Johnson, that is a great quote. And actually very appropriate for this moment in time. What happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object? We're about to find out in the final round here. This is going to be good. All right. We've still got 2,700 people that are watching online. We're up to 2,100 likes. The channel's got 4,200 subscribers. And what started with just a little over 22 at the beginning of the week. And we are down to just 2 cars left on a Silver State Refrigeration $1 million Saturday. And I still, man, Chris Johnson, that was kind of epic and perfect for the moment. What happens? Chance Parker, I'll do my best to get that taken care of. As a matter of fact, we know the man deserves it. So, yeah, you got that race to 5 flings. We'll take a look at that. But neither one of these two would quite get there. For Luke, it would make 4. For Sarah, it would make 3. But Sarah's got a couple of other things that have happened to him over the last little bit. Mike English, you are absolutely right. This is awesome. But I still give credit there to Chris Johnson. What happens? Where'd it go? When an unstoppable force meets an immovable object, the laws of physics are about to collide. What's up, Warren?
Oh, they most certainly are. This has got to be one of the most remarkable final rounds in Fling history. It's just unbelievable. Both of these guys have just, when it's their day, it's their day. And today, as you say, the immovable force and the unstoppable object colliding here in the final round. I just came in to tell Mike English, no.
Okay.
That's all you need to know.
So what's up, Mr. Hardy? How are you? What's up, Mr. Wiles? How are you? Oh, there you go. There's one thing there, and again, whether you want to combine two different things, somebody says, what happens when, an unstoppable force meets an immovable object? Somebody types in and goes, Luke, use the force. Oh, this reminds me of, like, back when I was Severio's age, my son's age, whatever it was, and you'd get really super excited about something. Back then, like, wrestling was a big thing. This is Hulk Hogan meets Andre the Giant.
Oh, my. That's a great reference. That's exactly
this
what this
is
feels
Hulk
like.
Hogan meets Andre the Giant at WrestleMania 1. Even though we're in, million number 9.
Wasn't that when Hulk was the first guy to actually pick up and body slam Andre?
Yes.
That was
Yes.
it. Yes.
I think it's definitely one of those things. And, yeah, I'm not going to repeat what you said there, Danny Hoff, but you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. This is Thunderdome to the max. Mosier, Spring, I'm going to read you exactly what those in the text group just received. Mosier, Spring, Fling, Million, final round. Jeff Serra with lane choice over Luke Bagacki, monster matchup. Godzilla meets King Kong.
How appropriate.
Like,
Yes.
let's do it.
But let's be honest. We kind of saw this coming all day long. It was pretty apparent Luke was on a mission all day. And the way Jeff started his day, how could you imagine him not being in this final round?
I can tell you it was looking like it was shaping up that way, but the thing that makes this stuff so cool is that, you got to think about it. A couple of rounds ago, and I wish I could remember exactly who Luke was racing, but Luke was 005 on the tree. His opponent was 24. It looked like he had him in the bag. And that didn't turn out the way that we thought it would. There were so many matchups like that today where a racer in the moment of pressure stepped up, let go right, drove the stripe right, just like they usually do, and were able to do things that, in this case, just flip a coin. You know? If somebody were to look at me and go, who are you betting on? Nobody.
I think we're just betting on a great race.
There is, exactly.
I think that's all we're going to see right now.
I'm betting on some spectacular entertainment.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm betting on. But, yes. There you go. Jake, thank you. He was racing Sandlin, who he came back and had to race in the semifinals to take his revenge.
There's an awful lot of storylines that have gone along with this day. It's been just amazing. And I haven't been involved with too many of these Fling events, but I don't think I'll ever forget about this one. It's just been spectacular all the way around.
Yeah, I am certainly looking forward to watching this play out. We've got the tractors out there. We're giving Jeff and Luke enough time. The limo has already been pulled up over onto the return road. The suite is waiting for them down at the South Point. The trophy is being readied. The checks are down there. The jacket, the hat, and the celebration is going to be
epic.
Let's just say that if one of them wins, the celebration is going to be spectacular. If the other one wins, epic might come into play.
Well, whichever one wins, it's certainly been most deserving. There's no question about it. And just, if you don't mind, Nate, if I take just a moment here.
Okay.
And you guys have been talking about it all weekend long, and I can't say enough about how much I appreciate all the compliments, all the kind words about our production of the live stream this weekend. We did take it a step in a little bit of a different direction, and hopefully you'll show, or hopefully everyone has appreciated what we've tried to do here. And personally, for me, I'd like to thank Joshua Brannon, a.k.a. Ticklefits, and Les Mayhew. Les has been the guy up there standing at the top of the grandstands for 3 days in a row now, capturing those images of the cars going down the track at speed. And that's been pretty spectacular. And, of course, my buddy Ticklefits back there in the staging lanes and the front of the lanes and right there in the starting line area. That's been a great part of it. But on behalf of all of us, we want to thank you for everything that you have said about us online. We appreciate it, and it's always a pleasure working with you, Nate, and everybody that's a part of the Fling crew.
Well, thank you, Warren. And, again, the compliments that you guys have been receiving are well-deserved. You've really done a lot to add to the angles, the insight, being able to see what's going on down here. And it's definitely well-deserved. Just a very, very nice job covering this event this year. And I am looking forward to see how this thing wraps up. Now, racers, and when I say racers, I'm talking about those that are here on property as well as our Fling family that is still 2,900 strong, watching along in the chat feed, watching along on the live feed, the Jegs and Hoosier live feed. For all of our fans, you are all members of the Fling family as well. You all know that. That is one of the big things that is part of it. And so while I'm not going to ask anybody to pick a winner, because I wouldn't want anybody to ask me that, we want to make sure that our chat bleachers, our live feed family, are just as involved as this event as if they were here on property. So I saw one prediction already of what they believe the margin at the stripe will be. Chris Johnson had poked out he thought it was going to be a 004 stripe. Cajun saying he thinks it's going to be a 007 stripe. Rather than pick a winner, because I don't really think you can at this point in time, why don't you guys go ahead and tell us what you think the margin is going to be while we appreciate the up-close personal look behind the tower at both Luke and Jeff as they get ready to go. Got a few that think the stripe's going to be about a 7 thou margin. 5 thou stripe. Stevie's getting pretty specific. 63 10 thou. A lot of 9s, 5s. I do too. Bob, I'm hoping that it's just green to green. And let our Andre the Giant and Hulk Hogan take it all the way down to body slam time. My question is, who's going to come off the top rope with the big elbow? Yeah, Rodney, I'm not going to buy into that one. I hope not. I hope not. We've got 660 feet worth of racetrack. Thank you, Jerry. Appreciate that. We've got 660 feet worth of racetrack to help us decide a winner. And I have heard the sound. Dragsters are fired up and are going to be headed up this direction. I hear them under the arch. Sarah going to be in the left lane. Luke will be in the right. Thank you, Pro Street. I appreciate that. Trust me, I appreciate those, but without my announcing partners that have been here this week, trust me, they deserve all the credit. They really do. Steve Riggins and Ronnie K and everybody that's come in here to help out, Severio and Gary and Peter and Warren, they all get all that. So, Jeff, Sarah, left side, Luke, Bagaki, right side. Take a look at the scene out in front of the tower. We have got showgirls. We have got a limo. We have got folks lining up on both sides of the racetrack to witness, I'll just say it again, an epic final round that is about to play out before our eyes. The strip at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. It is the Mosier Engineering Spring Fling Million presented by Optima Batteries on a Silver State Refrigeration $1 million Saturday night under the lights in Las Vegas. The entertainment capital of the world, and the sport of bracket racing is not going to be any more entertaining than it is for about the next 4.6 seconds. Luke Bagacki dialed in with a 463 on the right side, a former million winner looking to be the first to do it twice. And Jeff Serra, who was the first to claim the Brodix run for the 50K here in Vegas this morning, is looking to make his way to the winner's circle and become the 9th name on the title sheet for the million. Luke is in and set. Jeff Serra joins him on the starting line. The tree is hot. It drops. We're green on both sides. 0.003 of a second separate them in reaction time. Jeff Serra gets out of the throttle, and Luke Bagacki will cruise through for the victory. Serra was 006 at this end of the racetrack. Luke was 003. Luke goes 472 on the 463. Jeff Serra ends up with a 535, but Serra was out of the throttle just before the finish line. Luke bails out, goes 472 to become the first double up winner in Fling history. He did it in 2017 and does it again in 2024. Luke Bagacki, your winner of the Spring Fling Million here at the Strip at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Congratulations to each and every racer who took to the track here today. It was a spectacular show. We kept over 3,000 people at the end of the day entertained, watching what you were able to do here. What a finish. It really came down to an unstoppable force and an immovable object, and the winner is Luke Bagacki. The ThisIsBracketRacing.com team will be joining us down here. Jeff Serra, what an absolute display of dominance that happened here today with that 50K win, getting all the way down to the final. And Luke fighting his way through to be the first person to win the million on the Spring Fling side twice. We are going to be quiet up here for a minute as we make our way down the return or down to the return road. Again, the trophy's there, the limo's there, the showgirls are there, the check is there, and you can see them making their way this direction. Racers, race fans, thank you so much for hanging out with us. What an amazing day. What a special day. What a historic day to see those two end up in the final. For those of you that are watching online, part of our chat bleachers on that Jags and Hoosier live feed, we thank you for sticking in there with us all day. Still 3,000 strong at 10 o'clock at night on the West Coast when everybody else should probably be in bed on the East Coast, but nobody wanted to miss a minute. You're part of the family, and we certainly hope that soon you'll be able to get out and race with us somewhere, whether it be at Galat, whether it be at Bristol, whether it be here at Vegas. You know our gates are open. We've still got more racing that we're going to do tomorrow. It's going to start at 8 a.m. in the morning. But tonight, we're going to celebrate. We're going to celebrate a matchup that was one that everybody enjoyed. Racers, we'll be down there on the return road in the winner's circle in just a moment. Chat bleachers, thank you so much. We'll see you guys in just a minute. Check.
Well, we are down here on the return road for a man who is now a 4-time winner at the Flings. He was the winner of the 20K in 2016. I had to take notes. You've got so many of these things going. He won a 2017 at the Million, a 30K in 2018, and you are the first man to be a 2-time winner at the Million. I could see some. You are not normally an emotional guy, but I see the emotion welling up with you, man. Tell me how you're feeling right now.
Exhausted. That's obviously not the way that I wanted to win it. I thought he broke an input shaft. He said he just got really loose. But we'd have had a really good run. We were both 0-0, and I didn't even look. I think it was going what I thought it was going. So, but yeah, it's been a long week, man. The second motor in this car, second camshaft in the Corvette. I told Jess after the semis, get me a banana and a element tea because I was cramping up. So I'm exhausted. Is how I'm feeling. But all's well that ends well. This was amazing.
It certainly was, and I know last time you were out here, it's always good to be surrounded by family, and you guys spent a lot of time on the road together. The first two that were over here congratulating were your kids, and I saw the smile on your face as you jumped out. Tell me what that means to have them here.
Well, Gary got to experience the limo and the downtown experience. Jack's been telling me and Jess for 3 months, we got to win so we can go swimming in the pool. And guess what, buddy? We'll go swimming in the pool tonight.
Oh, that's so awesome. Last time you won the Million, it was a little bit smaller. $325,000 was in the pot today. Tell me a little bit about coming in, especially coming into the later rounds. When we start talking about split, you've still got 2 in your pocket. You're still alive in 2. How did things go back there?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm all up for split, and I figured when I got through 5th round that we'd get into the cut. And then the first round of the cut, I make probably the worst mistake that I've made since last time we were here, because I did the same thing last time we were here. But I, as disappointing as that was, I'm really proud of the resilience to come back 5 minutes later and make the run that I wanted to make against one of the best to do it with Galletti. And really the last few rounds, it's Corey, it's Garrett, and then Chad Sandlin, and then Jeff. So, yeah, I mean, you couldn't script it any better.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm certainly not trying to make a shameless plug for your thisisbracketracing.com, but you mentioned that exactly. You go from making a mistake that I'm sure in your head was replaying over and over the entire time back down the return road. We're able to put that out of your mind and take it all the way to the final. One last time, man. Let me ask, how do you do something like that?
I mean, in the end, we say it all the time. It's easier said than done, but the last run doesn't have anything to do with the next run unless you allow it to. So you just wipe the slate clean and go do what you do.
All right, so we're getting out of the serious stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, we're surrounded by folks here. There is a limo sitting right there waiting to take you to a suite at the South Point. There are showgirls sitting right over here that are waiting to take pictures with you. For the first time, a double-up winner at the Million. Let's hear it for the man, Luke Bagacki. Get the showgirls in here. We're getting the trophies. We're getting the checks. It's time to start celebrating. The last man standing, Luke Bagacki, your 2024 Mosier Engineering Spring Fling Million presented by Optima Batteries champion. The party begins now. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have some fun down here. Everybody else have a good night. We'll see y'all back here tomorrow morning when we complete our FTIperformance.com $30,000 Friday. Good night.